when you expect yourself to be good at something that you've never actually done before. So, I wanted to bring this topic up because it just rings so true to so many different parts of our lives. And if you don't know, like I recently just moved to Denver. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I'm currently looking for a bougie gym to join because I really like bougie gyms. It's my vibe. I feel like it motivates me even more to get up and go work out. And I've actually, this is completely off topic, but found like a membership club, this boutique hotel membership club that's also a gym specifically geared towards entrepreneurs here in Denver that I think I'm going to join. But in the meantime, what I've been doing is I've just been doing classes on ClassPass. So I've just been trying out different gyms just for fun, also to shake up my workouts a little bit because I've been kind of doing the same thing for my workouts for many, many years now. And it's just nice to shake things up and try something new and get the body moving in different ways. And so this morning I signed up for the step workout class. Now, I've done a lot of step classes before. I'm pretty good at them, pretty decent at them, but they're generally aerobic step classes. Like they're choreographed, but they're not super intense. Like, you know, some of the ones that you see on TikTok and they're doing like all these dances and hopping over to one side and doing everything super fast. Like I haven't done any of those. And I did not even realize this when I signed up for this class, but this class was one of those classes. So there's me literally never having done a step class like this before, and it's like step and Pilates. I'm literally feeling the pain from it right now, but never having done it before. And I just remember being so consumed in the class, trying to follow the instructor, trying to follow everyone else around me, and just so, like very much a beginner. I was at the back of the class here, just learning and figuring it out as I went. And I did find myself getting a little bit better after each like sequence, right? I was like, okay, I got that one a little bit, like screwed that one up, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going, right? And it was fun to kind of be a beginner at something, but like, I went into it not expecting myself to be an expert at it, right? The class started and I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot that I don't know here and there's a lot to learn. I'm going to pick it up the more I come if I choose to keep coming, but I'm not expecting myself to be phenomenal and perfect about it. And now this concept is just so interesting because the reason that so many people don't get started with investing in real estate or starting a business or doing whatever it is because they just expect to be great at it right off the bat. Like they expect their first property or their first venture into real estate to be a home run, best deal ever. Oh my gosh. Like, no, that's not how it works. Sometimes it does. Like I think for my first property was actually really, really great. It was a solid deal, but I also wasn't expecting it to be the best thing in the world. It happened to work out really well, right? But I also was committed. I was committed into learning. And there were so many mistakes that I made with that first property that I don't make with any of my properties going forward, right? Because, like, in what world is it that when you start something, the first time you start something, you're amazing at it? Literally, in what world? There is no world that happens, okay? Like sometimes, yes, there's an activity that we maybe are a little bit good at. Like I remember when I first started rock climbing, I wasn't horrible. I wasn't great by any means, but I wasn't horrible. I was like, okay, kind of like this. This is fun. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, right? But I also wasn't expecting myself to be an expert rock climber from the get-go. And it's so funny because I actually used to date a guy. He was literally the sweetest guy in the world, but we just really weren't meant for each other for multiple different reasons. But one of the things that I thought was super interesting with him was that he just did not like doing any new sports and activities. He would get so frustrated with himself if he just didn't get it right away or if there was someone better than him at it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I very much like throwing myself into new situations. I like learning, I like growing and kind of starting off in that beginner. Like it's fun to be an expert at something, but I also think it's fun to kind of be a newbie and learn and grow. And so there were a few activities that we did together. Like one of them was making these rope baskets for plants, like rope planters, right? And we were just like making it by hand. And then I actually brought him rock climbing. And I'm like, I'm a decent rock climber. I'm not amazing by any standard, but like I know my shit. Like I know how to climb, right? And it was just like the most painfully awkward thing because he would get so frustrated at himself, even though He had never done this before. Like, he'd never gone rock climbing before. He had never made rope baskets before, but he was getting so freaking frustrated with himself that he wasn't able to figure it out right away. And like, what I learned about his character is like, he could only do things that he was an expert at and could show that he was an expert. I don't know. Like, either way, that growth mindset and like willingness and wanting to grow wasn't there. And you have to have that mindset in order to be successful in real estate, in order to be successful as an entrepreneur, in order to be successful as a mom, and in order just to be successful in anything you want to do in life. Like, you have to want to grow. Like, it's just inevitable. There has to be some love that goes into learning new things and seeing progress and getting better and optimizing, because how fun, like, life literally would not be fun if anything and everything you did, you were amazingly perfect at it from day one and had nothing to learn. Like, what's the point then? And it's so funny because even when you look at like the best tennis players or the best basketball players or the best musicians or the biggest real estate investors or anything like that, everyone always talks about the 10,000 hours that you have to put in and all the reps that you have to put in to get to that expert level, to get to a level where it's like really popping off and you know everything. And think about even schooling, right? Like, think about your job, actually. Let's take this. Think about your job. From day one, were you amazing at your job? Were you fantastic? Was it like, oh yes, I understand everything, I'm running everything perfectly? No, you had a growth period, right? You had to learn the ropes. You had to figure it out. You had to stumble a little. You had to ask questions, right? You had to go through that growth and learning phase in order to get to where you need to go. Okay, so I have something so freaking exciting for you. You guys already know how much I love real estate investing. It's literally given me the freedom to quit my corporate job, start this podcast, and become a full-time entrepreneur. Now, if you've been looking to get into real estate investing, particularly if you want to buy something like a duplex, triplex, or a fourplex, or even just a large house with multiple rooms, live in part of it, rent other parts of it out, that way you can live for free and travel the world, I actually have a program called the Wanderlust Wealth Academy where I help people do exactly that. And in that program, it takes you from figuring out your strategy to buying your first property within 6 months. So if that's something you know you want to do, I want you to message me on Instagram and send me the word START to learn more about it. Or you can go to the link in the show notes and book a call with me or my team so that we can go over all the details. So you know where to find me. Now let's dive back into the show. So it's like, why is it that with business and with real estate investing, do people think that they need it to be perfect right out of the gate? Like, it's just not, that's not reality in any way, shape, or form in anything that we do. I remember my first year of owning properties, I did not have everything perfectly automated, okay? Like, I wasn't using price labs, like revenue optimization, and I left a crap ton of money on the table. I remember there was like, I had forgotten to change the prices for Jazz Fest, and so people came in and booked it at a really, really low price, and I was like, damn, I literally missed out like on a couple of $1,000s just because I did not have that automated. And did I beat myself up about it? No, it was just a mistake that I learned, and I now going forward, I'm very aware of when things are happening at all of my properties in different markets so that I can increase the price for that period of time. But just imagine if what had stopped me from getting started investing in real estate was that, oh, well, I don't know anything about price optimization, so I'm not going to do it. No, you've got to start somewhere, and it's better to get started. Maybe lose a couple $1,000s here and there, right? Just because you didn't optimize it perfectly or you didn't get the most perfect property for the first one, but you're learning and you're growing, and you're going to take all of those learnings and put it into the next property and put it into the next deal and put it into your business. And this is the same just with business too. Like, I've started like a lot of random businesses. Like so many different things. Like, if you don't know, I used to offer interior design services. Then this was before having my interior design company right now. I had literally no idea what I was doing. Truly no idea. And I would just try and design homes for like other people, just their own personal homes, not investment properties like we do now, but just like regular homes for other people. And I remember I would do these mock-ups, like mood boards in a PowerPoint presentation and just throw pictures together, didn't really know what I was doing, but hey, at least I learned, and I learned what I liked, I learned what I didn't like, I learned that, like, what was profitable, what wasn't profitable, and I was able to take those learnings and put them into my business now, right? And going through all of those experiences, I learned the importance of processes and systems and making sure to document everything and making sure that everything has a place. But it's like, how could I have expected myself from day one, starting this business or buying properties, to know everything that there is to know? That's just, no, that is not the case, okay? And I think what people forget is that year one of everything is a shit show, okay? Year one of college, shit show. Year one of corporate job, shit show. Year one of real estate investing, shit show. Year one of entrepreneurship, shit show. That is just the norm, okay? I remember year one of college, I was a hot mess, okay? I was drinking every single day. Like, I remember the first month of school, I literally drank every single day for 30 days straight. Insanity, straight insanity, okay? My body cannot do that anymore. And like, was I acing my classes? No, I wasn't. But I wasn't expecting myself from day one to get everything perfect, right? And it's like, yes, over time you get better, you improve, all of that. But day one and at the beginning, how can you expect yourself to know everything? That's just not reality. And then I remember even my year one of transitioning into my corporate job. That was freaking wild. No one talks about that, right? Like how much change there is. And you're going from, doing school and being a student and having 3 months off during the summer and 1 or 2 months off during the winter and all these holidays, to now you're working full time, nonstop, 24/7. Maybe you get 2 weeks of vacation. You don't have classes to attend. You don't have exams to take. Like, you're just doing this for the rest of your life. Like, that transition is really hard, and no one expects you from the first year of working in corporate America to become the CEO or to be the best of the best or the subject matter expert. That's just not the case. It's not reality. It's the same thing with real estate investing. It's the same thing with entrepreneurship. Stop expecting yourself to have to know everything before getting started, because then you're just never going to get started, because you literally cannot learn everything you need to know before getting started. Because here's what people don't tell you, okay? Nothing beats time and experience. Literally nothing out there. There's a reason why older people are just so much wiser. They have the time, they have the experience, they've been through it. You can't just skip through the going through it part. So I just want you to give yourself some more grace and just learn how to take that leap of faith, because your first property is not going to be perfect. Your first business is not going to be perfect. And you cannot expect yourself to be good or great at something that you've never done before. So give yourself some grace. Okay? Just like I did this morning during my workout, doing the step class where I was a hot mess. Give yourself some grace. It's kind of fun to be the beginner sometimes, because eyes aren't on you. No one expects it to go perfectly. No one expects you to kill it right off the bat. You're just getting started. You're learning. It's such a beautiful place to be. There's literally no pressure on you. So this is just a beautiful time to learn, to make mistakes, to try things, see what works, and then build your systems and processes from there. Okay, well, I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did resonate with it, please leave me a review. Literally, it is the only way that I can tell if this is resonating with you, or post it to your story. I'd super appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.